Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to the weekly review special for week 43 of the Gaming Decathlon competition. This week I brought in 3,898 points, just 100 away from that oh-so-fun 4,000 mark, and heading back the right direction. Best round score is at 46-48. I'd love to match and beat that at some point before long here, but there's definitely some new games coming to the channel in the near future. But how many of them will stick? Well, we'll find out. Space Crew is a new one, and it lasted 4 episodes for 2 reasons. 1, viewership was quite low, and 2, I died. Horrible radiated death. So yeah, that was nice. Current virtual best up to 4,429, just about 100 points up from where we were a week ago. All-time virtual best unchanged. All of the games are about 200 points or more away from that top 10 list. Break down those 4 active games, minus Space Crew. PCM20 in the career mode, 184 points. Pretty good jump from the start of the new season, mid a week and a half ago. So, week and a half ago, yeah. Doing quite well. I mean, it's late March or into April now. And we're already doing pretty well, and especially considering we dropped Continental Pro, and there's just not as many points for those races. But we're getting into a few World Tour races. We've had some successes. For Mark continues to be excellent and punch above his weight. In the all-rounder, 111 points, same thing. This season as a whole is going really poorly, but all of a sudden this week, things are starting to turn around a little bit. I'm late April or even May already in that season, and really not accumulating much points. I mean, I'm nearly halfway, and you can see double my score, and that's nowhere near where I was a season ago. And I'm in the same team, at the same level. The big difference, though, is that I leveled up once, and even though my average is still the same, or is it? No, it's a 73 now. It was a 72. That small marginal gain suddenly has a target on my back, meaning a lot of races I'm one of the targeted riders, so they won't let me go on a break. But that's what I do best. I win from the break. Now they don't want to let me go. So now I've got to try to match toe-to-toe with better riders, and that's just not happening. So I've got some decent results, but all things considered, I just cannot replicate what I did last season. So I don't think I'm going to get much more than a low 200s by the end of the year. Viking Way, the new one that did stick. Quite a few new viewers, so some of you might be seeing this from that, coming from that series. And if you are new to this, the road to the record, long story short, the Decathlon, which is what my channel name is based off of. The Decathlon is an Olympic event. It used to be, anyway, the main event of the Olympics. In the original rendition and in the early resurgence of the Olympics, the winner of the Decathlon is seen as the world's best athlete. These days, not as much, especially over the last 20, 30 years. It's really faded in popularity from what it was. But through most of history, it shows that you're the best because you can do the best at running and jumping and throwing events. You put it all together, and you've got all the tools, right? Baseball, we call that a 5-tool player. We're the 10-tool player. Channel based on that, 10 games, each one some sort of scoring system that adds up to 1,000 points, and that doesn't just go from you have 0 and then finally, oh, you won the game, now you have 1,000. Steps along the way, marginal gains. Add all those scores up, and that's your grand total. My grand total, all-time virtual best, 8,000 588. You add up the 10 most recent games, the 4 active, and the 6 most recent retired games that I've played on the channel, that's where we have that 3,898. Now the Viking Way, 171 points. Breaking that score down comes down to our settlement. That's 50 points. Each settlement worth 50 points. That'll be half of the overall points because that's the main objective in the game. Then it's the size of my party. I have 21 troops, 2 points for each of those. And then the development of my bases, just 1 point for each. So that one's going to take a while to add up. I've added 5 points so far. And then finally, the garrison of my bases. That's where I'm getting a decent amount of points right now, as I have like 73 or something like that off the top of my head in the garrison to our one town of Ribe. And then on to PGA Tour 2K21. Into that first PGA Tour season, we're about four events in now. This week, I had highs and lows. Started with the low, absolutely disastrous round where I was playing bogey golf through much of it. 2 reasons. 1, it was windy, and 2, skinny greens that sloped off either side massively. And with the winds, I just shot after shot, you think you've got the winds figured out, and then all of a sudden it pushes it too much, or it doesn't push it at all. And I kept just missing. And just missing turned into massive punishments. And so it was bogey after bogey after bogey. I didn't even finish the round on camera. I finished it off camera, and actually, off camera was better than it was on camera. Just I relaxed and stopped worrying about it and just put my head down and finished the round out. I think I was a +6 or +7 through 9, so through the first half of the round, and that's when I ended the episode. I finished at about a +9, so I only lost a few strokes on the back 9. It was definitely better than the front 9. Still not a good round, but the second tournament, I took 3rd place with just a -2, actually, but it was 3rd place. So good round, much better, much easier course. The wind was not an issue. I feel like I actually could have been a shot or two better than I was. So, but 200 of those points come from being in the PGA Tour. The other 40 come from our ranking and level. And my ranking, well, we're only 4 tournaments into the season, so I only have so many points. I'm in the top 20, so that's pretty awesome. But I'm still well short of a lot of the top contenders, and I don't look like I'll be a top contender of any kind. Ironically, the score just below it, Grand Tactician Civil War, which is an inactive game, identical. They're both at 240. All right, well, that's going to do it for this review special. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Decathlon Gamer. I do this weekly. It's just to check in, and it's what I do. Even though this is not a popular thing, there's only a few people that check this out. It's my thing. For most people, a specific game is their thing. A few people like the content across the board and are into the overall project, and I just do that part for me. But thanks for checking it out, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.